Well, there we have it, folks. Just how good is Patchy Mix in the Bantamweight division as he's no longer in UFC. Mario Bautista versus Vinicius Oliveira. Mario Bautista ended up getting this one done. And in quite a good fashion, I must say. Vinicius Oliveira just seemed to have one round of cardio in him. He didn't really seem to have anything else in the gas tank. And it was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy to see Vinicius Oliveira kind of just go out so quickly. Batista ended up getting it done. I don't necessarily think Mario Bautista is going to be a threat in the division. I don't necessarily think Mario Bautista is going to cause too much panic in this Bantamweight division. Simply because I don't think he's that good. He lost to Umar. He beat Patchy Mix and stuff like that. But apart from that, I feel like this guy would struggle with the top guys. I don't think he beats O'Malley. I know him and O'Malley are boys. So that fight probably will never happen. But there's other fights on the horizon here. I wouldn't mind seeing Deiveson Figueiredo. Let me up that a little bit. I wouldn't mind seeing Deiveson Figueiredo versus Mario Bautista. I think that could be a fun fight. Vinicius Oliveira, man. Where was your cardio? You have good speed. You have the ability. You have attributes that you can improve on and kind of go far in the division. But you have so much shit to fix. It is actually insane. But all in all, I actually really enjoyed this fight. I thought it was a good card. How good is Patchy Mix? My light almost fell. How good is Patchy Mix being able to sit in the pocket and just trade? Just trade with Mario Bautista. How good is Patchy Mix to be able to sit in the pocket, land shots, deal damage, and actually do bits to Mario Bautista? It's actually insane. All in all, we'll have a little run through the card and I'll kind of go through every fight individually. You know, Umar Horiguchi is somehow just made a miraculous comeback since he got back into the UFC. This was quite a standard procedure win. He absolutely dismantled Amir Albazi, and it was pretty crazy to think just about a year ago Amir Albazi was a favorite to Brandon Moreno, which is pretty insane. It's pretty insane to think that, and you know, Horiguchi's gonna do well. He obviously, this is like his second stunt in the UFC, and I think his second stunt is doing an awful lot better than he did in his first one. So fair play to him, man. Fair play to Horiguchi. I've seen him fight live. He's a bit of a beast. He's definitely resurging, and you know, him versus Brandon Royval is a good fight. Him versus Brandon Royval is a very good fight. I would love to see that next. I think they'll do that fight next. Royval's still in the mix. Obviously, he's not going to be fighting for a belt anytime soon. He had his chance against Pantoja the first time. And I think Royval would beat Horiguchi. I think Royval's underrated. I think he gets counted out a lot. And I definitely think Horiguchi's on a resurge. Jailton Almeida versus Rusvan Kuniev. I think Jailton Almeida should be cut from the UFC. I genuinely believe this. I think Jailton Almeida should be cut from the sport. I think Jailton Almeida is poison. I think Jailton Almeida is every single thing wrong with the UFC. I don't think he should even be in the UFC, to be honest with you. I think his style is so boring, so shit, so far from the scoring criteria. How can you... It's damaging having a guy like Jailton Almeida in the sport, to be honest with you, simply because he's everything the scoring system shouldn't be. He's everything the scoring system shouldn't be. The style of fights... At least Merab did a little bit of work with his hands and was able to kind of maneuver that way. Jailton Almeida literally does absolutely nothing with his hands ever. There's no striking exchanges. There's no boxing. There's no using his strikes to set up takedowns. There's absolutely none of that when it comes to Almeida. It's pathetic. It's disgraceful. It ruins the sport. And he actually looked kind of like surprised that he was, that he lost. That holding people up against the cage and holding people down without doing a single bit of damage is what causes you to lose the fights. But have a look here. Let's cover his, stupid ass. Total strikes. Kuniev won more strikes. More significant strikes. And Almeida, you can argue that he beat Volkov, cool, whatever. It is a damage-based scoring system. And we need to be favouring the damage-based scoring fighter. And Jailton Almeida is never, ever going to be the damage first kind of fighter in the sport, okay? He should be cut. He should be thrown to the PFL. It should be their problem now to deal with someone who's so fucking boring and so fucking shit in so many areas, but has so much potential. And that's the thing. Jailton Almeida is talented. Jailton Almeida can do bits. Jailton Almeida is a good fighter. But his style is just so bad, so boring, and so grappling heavy with no damage, no elbows, no submissions, no nothing. that it just ruins the sport. And Rizdan Kuniev is another fat blob that's going to get absolutely starched by anyone half decent. You know, the Volkovs, the Gans, the Toms, because they're the only kind of good guys. Curtis Blades is kind of still in the mix. I know he beat Kuniev, so that doesn't really matter. But there's a lot of guys in this division that are just kind of mid, that are kind of the top echelon as well, which kind of saddens me. But it was good to see Almeida lose. I'll leave it that way. It was good to see Almeida lose. But apart from that, the rest of the card was actually pretty decent. The rest of the card, I'm going to shrink myself here. I'm sorry, I was fucking late watching this. The rest of the card was pretty decent. Alex Morono looked okay. He kind of lost. He kind of fell off a little bit. Nico Price, God forbid you, bro. You're going straight to the fucking nursing home. And apart from that, there was a few decent fights. There was a few... Actually, it was actually a pretty good card. I will admit, you know, because you kind of look here. Submission. A good few decisions, but TKO, decisions, TKO. That was quite a close decision as well. Decision, submission. It was a great card. Like, there were banger fights. And there was like a judging kind of mishap as well, which was going on. Or, yeah, like the submission kind of thing with the radio was pretty fucking crazy. But Vinicius Oliveira versus Mario Bautista. We'll go back to this. I don't think Mario Bautista is going to do well. I don't think Mario Bautista is going to go far. I think Bantamweight is so stacked. I think Bantamweight is so good. I think Peter Yan, Cory Sandhagen, Sean O'Malley, Umar Nurmagomedov, they're the top echelon of the division. And they're the top echelon of the division for a reason. They are so far ahead in striking. But what I really think separates O'Malley, Yan, Umar, all of these guys from the likes of Bautista, from the likes of these guys, is that they're so quick. That's what some people don't understand about these guys. They are so rapidly quick. Vinicius Oliveira is quick, but he has no gas tank. You have to be able to go at least 3 rounds. You have to be able to go 5 rounds at all times, in my opinion. And there's a reason that guys like Vinicius Oliveira and Mario Bautista just don't get to belts. It's because they're lacking speed, in my opinion. I think speed is something that is so underrated within the UFC. You could have heavy hands, but have no speed. You could have heavy hands, really sharp technical boxing, but if you're predictable from a mile away, you're not going to be able to land. Someone whose speed is top tier, but kind of can land like a fury of punches, he's throwing so many at you, he's going to land eventually. But guys that have no speed, just heavy hands, and maybe are sharp boxers, have to pick perfect moments, and the perfect moments are so hard to come by, simply because they're so predictable. I don't think Mario Bautista is that good. I don't think Mario Bautista is ever going to touch a belt. I don't think Vinicius Oliveira is going to ever touch a top 5. But what do we think? This was a good card. Obviously, it's kind of one of those cards I kind of was talking about briefly. It was a good fight. It was a good card. I actually enjoyed it. One of the better kind of like lesser known fight nights that I've seen in my time. So let me know what you think about this down below, boys. It was a good card, and thanks for watching.